Coming at you live, pre-recorded in sunny Unionville, Connecticut, it's The First Run. I'm Chris Scalzo, here with
Dave Cunningham.
And this week on The Big Show, Dave and I tackle baseball and racism with the Jackie Robinson picture, 42. Was racism really that bad in the 50s? Well, yes. What are you even talking about? Does 42 knock it out of the park and continue the trend of great baseball movies that aren't really about baseball, a la Field of Dreams, The Natural, and the like? Or does this film try to do too much and ends up popping up to the catcher? Cinematically speaking, of course. We'll review the big releases on Blu-ray and DVD featuring Dave's streaming pick of the week. Then it's return to our annual inventories with the top 5 films of 2001. We're also going to be featuring new music from Daphne Lee Martin and her new album Moxie this week. You can order it on her website at daphneLeeMartin.com as well as iTunes. And also she runs a great little record store in New London called The Telegraph. You can check it out there as well. So pop open a box of Cracker Jacks, Daves. Buy yourself a $10 beer. And keep scoring another Gold Glove edition of The First Run. I'm trying to think of all the baseball cliches I possibly can.
Nailed it.
But first, let's hear a little bit of 42. Me, take it away.
My daddy left us. I was only 6 months older than you are now. I don't remember him. You will remember me.
Jackie Robinson, a black man in white baseball.
I want you to know I'm there for you.
In my heart.
Think about the abuse that he's gonna take.
Your enemy will be out in force, but you cannot meet him on his own low ground.
What you gonna do if one of these pictures throws through your head?
I'll duck.
Mark my words and circle this day. Negroes are gonna run the white man straight out of baseball.
This ain't the America I know. You hear me?
If they knew you, they would be ashamed.
If Robinson can help us win, then he's gonna play on this ball club.
You don't belong here, and you never will.
Get off the field.
Brooklyn Dodgers ain't changing our way of living.
You're wearing me down.
You are not the only one with something at stake here.
You want a player who doesn't have the guts to fight back?
No, I want a player who's got the guts not to fight back.
You give me a uniform. You give me a number on my back. I'll give you the guts.
That's right, Dave, and he did. So this week we're talking about 42, the biopic about Jackie Robinson, the man who basically integrated baseball and helped change, at least begin that change, definitely, of racism and kind of turn the tide a little bit here in the United States. It can't be underestimated. I can't understate how important this was at this time. Mm-hmm. Baseball was a massive event for this country back in the day. Yeah. I mean, you think football's big now. The way baseball was then was bigger. People would take off. They'd let people go off of work to watch the World Series. During school, they would wheel in TVs during the World Series during class, and you'd watch the games.
What happened in our country?
I don't know. So we have this film about Jackie Robinson, one of the most pivotal, if not the most important athlete in the history of this country. So Dave, does this film do his legend justice? And also, does it continue that trend of really just the great baseball films that really aren't about baseball?
People clapped at the end of the movie.
Certainly did. Same for me.
Yeah. I didn't really feel like it was a movie worth clapping for, though.
It got the golden approval. It's one of the few films to get an A+ at the cinema score.
Yeah. Which
means people walking out of the theater all seem to universally love it.
I didn't love it.
No. Why? No. Why is that?
It was, I think, I don't know, right? Because I would actually have liked to see a movie that covered more of his life. Mm-hmm. But while I was sitting in the theater, I felt like it was trying to go through too quick.
Okay.
It was trying to cover like all these bases, but a lot of the scenes just left me feeling flat. I think the acting was overall kind of below par. And I think that left me kind of wanting.
I didn't have an issue so much with the acting in this film. In fact, I think Chadwick Boseman, who plays Jackie, I think was quite good, and I think it was a smart idea to cast a relative unknown in this role.
I agree with you. I thought he was pretty good. It was more kind of the support. I really didn't like Harrison Ford in this movie.
Really? Because this is the first time in years I've seen Harrison Ford that I didn't actually hate him in the role.
Really?
Now, I'll be honest, he engages in that whole cliched crotchety get off my old man lawnness.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely had that in here. But this is the first film I've seen him in probably 5 years where I just wasn't like, you are absolutely horrible in this film. And I didn't think he was. I liked Christopher Maloney as DeRocher.
Right? What I really want to see is the movie where you see all the events that take place in this movie, but you really get a feeling for what the drama that was going on inside his head. Mm-hmm. You get a real good feeling for the relationship between him and Ricky, and between him and his wife, and between him and his son. I would have liked to see all that much more.
Right.
And it was a 2-hour movie, and I don't know, I came away feeling that was just kind of flat. Mm-hmm. There was such a dramatic story, a true story.
Yeah.
I feel like it should have more impact, and it just didn't have that much impact for me.
I actually have to agree with you. I think the film is good. It's not great.
Yeah.
For me, it's very rote. It's very formulaic. There's no real flair or just interesting storytelling in this film. It's very just kind of presented to you. There's no style to it. It's very workmanlike for me. At no point did they take any kind of real risks with it. It is visually appealing in some places, but there's just no...
Ebbets Field, I thought, was pretty good.
Yeah, but there's no flash. For me, I kind of looked at it as it's fine, family-friendly entertainment, like Disney's version of this story. It just seemed to me very... I don't know. It didn't really work for me. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I enjoyed the movie, but... I feel like I've seen this type of movie many times before. There was nothing really new or innovative or interesting about it, which is too bad for me because this is
deeper than that. Though.
This is a fascinating story.
Yeah,
that
maybe
I think,
one of the best true life sports stories in the history of sports.
And I think it's handcuffed by the fact that it's so kind of generic.
It does. That's
in the way
it
it's
feels
told.
Like it's generic. Yeah.
And and another big problem I had with it is Mark Isham's score. The music in this film is so overbearing many times. It's so loud and overpowering, and it just reeks of self-importance. And it actually cheapens some of these moments that actually were incredible, like the moment when Pee Wee Reese puts his arm around him.
Yeah.
Also, though, the end of the film when the score really soars.
I had the same issue, right?
And it doesn't work. It's too big. It's too bombastic. I think you needed something a little more subtle to kind of frame and push home what an integral figure he was. And for me, it was just too over the top. Entirely, it was.
Somehow they either needed to really focus on like a storyline that could make a movie great, or they needed to just almost go for the full lifespan, and just because what it felt like is they were just hitting these scenes, and it just felt like we're just hitting this scene, then we're going to show you that scene, and this guy is great. You can see that from all this stuff that happened, but you never really get into his head. You never get into any of the supporting characters' heads. It's
more you think they're just presenting this is a story that happened,
yeah,
and it's faithful to what happened.
Yeah,
but it's more concerned about showing you what happened instead of having you feel what happened.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yes,
I think for me, I enjoyed the relationship between Boseman and Nicole Bahari, who played his wife. I don't know if I think they do a reasonably good job of establishing how important she was in his relationship and how she kind of helped him through all of this, because they had one of the greater kind of marriages, baseball, sports-wise, that you'll ever hear. And also, too, what was uncomfortable for me was seeing Alan Tudyk as Ben Chapman, the racist manager. Yeah. Because Alan Tudyk, I know him from Firefly, and you see him in a lot of stuff, and he's just kind of this good-natured, kind of fun kind of guy.
Yeah.
And to see them as a just seething racist,
but he played it well. I thought he was one of the better acted characters in the movie.
Yeah, but it was a bit of a departure for seeing him in that role, considering I'll always identify him as being that guy in Firefly.
Me too.
But so Dave, What are you thinking then? What are you going to tell people?
Well, if you don't know the story of Jackie Robinson, or you have kids who don't know that story, I think this is a must go see in the theater.
Did you take the kids, or did you?
I meant to take the kids, and I just couldn't. I couldn't make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going back this weekend. I'm bringing the kids because I feel like they should see this in the theater with the people clapping. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's worthwhile.
Yeah, I think it's as I said, it's a family-friendly film. It's fairly innocuous, even with all the N-words.
So, I had a question about that.
Yeah.
The movie's rated PG-13, probably because of the use of the N-word.
I guess, sure.
I can't think of anything else that would have caused it, right? It had to be that.
Yeah, there's nothing else. Yeah, no.
So do you think they should have just cut that back a little bit and got that PG rating?
No.
To get a bigger audience? I mean, this is something you want to show your kids.
I don't think PG-13 is a limiting rating at all anymore.
No?
Really, I don't think that stops anybody. I think if it was R, you'd have an issue, which of course they would never do because it's not the whole point of this film.
No.
But no, I don't think PG-13 is going to hold back. I mean, basically, you just have to have a conversation with your kids if they're. I don't think you'll take a 9 or 10-year-old to this because I don't know if they'll really appreciate it. But if you,
I would.
You think so? Like a 9-year-old will appreciate? All right, fair enough. But I think the whole point, if you give the proper context to the words, I think you're fine.
Yeah,
I don't see a problem with it at all.
No, my problem isn't the words there. It's that the words there making it a PG-13 movie, meaning that you're not supposed to bring kids under 13 to it. It's not that I have a problem with the kids hearing the word in that context.
And I'm sure you're spewing them all the time at home when you're drunk.
That's messed up, man. Now both of our listeners are going to think I'm a racist. Thanks a lot.
So no, but nice. But no, I don't think it's. I think it's more just a warning, heads up. You know, there's going to be some salty language, if you will. If I shouldn't say salty. It's demeaning. It's downright offensive. But given the proper context, you understand it. Yeah, I think for me, I would recommend seeing it if you're a baseball fan. I think this kind of, it's not up there with The Natural or The Field of Dreams or anything for me. Oh, that's another thing, too, I wanted to say.
Unfortunately.
I should say, we didn't address this. I think it gets the sport of baseball really well.
Yeah.
It's very authentic. You really buy into the players and the movements and the playing on the field.
They did something cool with the announcer, too.
Well, it's John C. McGinley. He plays Red Barber in the film, yeah.
I've never seen this done before, but they do. He's doing like a recap before an inning, and they're doing the replay on the screen. You know, like they're showing you what happened while he's talking about it. It was really, I thought they only did it once that I noticed during the movie, but I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a neat shot.
So, but some people have issues too. If you go see a sport movie or any movie that you know something about, if you know, and you can say like, oh, that's not how that happens, or people don't do that in this kind of business. So I think for that,
you can't get away with that in baseball, though. Everybody knows baseball.
So I think for 42, they do a great job with that with the baseball. So yeah, if you had a chance to see 42, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Shoot us an email at thefirstrun@gmail.com. I'm going to take a break, come back, and tell you what's coming up on Blu-ray and DVD this upcoming Tuesday, April 23rd. Things are picking up again a little bit, Dave, but nothing really earth-shattering is being released. So we're going to have to kind of jazz it up and really sell it for people to be interested in the continue listening.
Should we sing it?
Yeah, ooh, that's an idea.
Right.
No, we're not going to do that.
La, 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 la.
Speaking of singing, though, as we go into our next segment, very nice. We're going to listen to a little bit from Daphne Lee Martin. This is actually the lead singer off of her album, Moxie, and it's called Belly. Enjoy.
easy, I leave smiles around, all to keep them from knowing this irrational desire that's growing. This irrational desire that's growing.
You're looking for your family?
Have you seen them? Agda, Morton, Joseph.
I'll try and help you. Okay.
Okay.
Actor Benstrom? Morton Benstrom, no? Actor Benstrom? Joseph Benstrom? Anyone? Morton Benstrom?
Ja?
Morton Benstrom from Sweden. I know your dad.
Papa?
Yeah, your papa. He's here. I'll bring him here, okay?
Yes. Okay.
Benstrom!
So, Dave, you just heard a little clip from The Impossible, that film based on a true story about the tsunami that came in and wiped out all those places and that killed all those people, and the family that got separated and then eventually reunited.
With
Ewan McGregor and Naomi Watts. I didn't get a chance to see it, but it's coming out on Blu-ray and DVD, so you can finally check it out, Dave. It includes a Blu-ray ultraviolet digital copy. I shouldn't say digital copy, an ultraviolet version. Audio commentary with the director and writer, some deleted scenes, and a couple featurettes if you wanted to check that out. A film No, you actually didn't see it. I think we did this. Was this the first episode of the video show? Was Gangster Squad.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it.
All right, well, don't bother.
I won't.
It's coming out on Blu-ray. Includes a DVD and an ultraviolet version as well. Commentary by the director, Ruben Fleischer, some deleted scenes, and a ton of behind-the-scenes featurettes, though some of them do feature the dreamy Ryan Gosling for the ladies. A film I was underwhelmed with and disappointed because I love this kind of LA Confidential film noir stuff, and it looked really promising, but ultimately it's disappointing. Maybe you can rent it, but there's really nothing
Probably
right home about it.
Renting The Untouchables,
probably, or LA Confidential. A film by Ken Burns, of course you know Ken Burns, right?
Yeah.
Civil War, The
Baseball.
War. So his latest film, which I'm dying to see, The Central Park 5. Which has been showing on public radio and had a limited theatrical run about the
public television.
Yes,
yeah.
It got it's about the 5 youths in New York who were unfalsely. Is that even a word? Who were falsely
nailed it
imprisoned for a rape of a jogger in Central Park, and it turned out they didn't do it. And it chronicles their story and how eventually they were released from prison. Includes some behind the scenes featurettes. And some deleted scenes as well. But,
some of the most interesting stuff surrounding that movie is how the city of New York tried to subpoena the cut video off of the movie, like the cut footage, to see if they could get anything against these guys. Like it's really disgusting.
Because they're suing the state now too, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Bad stuff.
But I'm dying to see this film, so I'm happy to be able to catch up with it finally. Promised Land is being released. Remember this? Got a very limited run as well. It was a wide release, but I don't think anybody went. It's the movie with Matt Damon and, oh my God, what's the guy's name from The Office? Jim Krasinski. It's the anti-fracking movie that came out last year.
Right. Yeah, I kind of wanted to see that one.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a fairly liberal guy, but that thing reeked of propaganda to me, so I didn't bother to go check it out.
I like both of those actors. I wanted to check them out.
Includes a Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy, and ultraviolet, and has some deleted scenes and a featurette, The Making of. I think it's Marlon Wayans continues to just turn the knife in me with his latest comedy, A Haunted House. Includes a Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy, and ultraviolet, and a featurette called How to Survive a Paranormal Presence. It's just another takeoff of these haunted movies, kind of like Scary Movie 5, which I want to interject. Thank you, everybody. Because we made a public plea to not go see Scary Movie 5 last weekend.
Yeah?
And I have to say, it tanked. It was number 2, but It only made $14 million that weekend. The budget was $20 million. I think the previous one made like 35 or 40 when it came out. Wow. So it did really poorly, and I'm hoping that this is the end. So, everybody who didn't go see it, I appreciate it. You are now officially friends for life with me.
Everybody who didn't see that movie is your friend for life.
They are. Specifically, too, if you went up to go buy it and you looked up at the screen, the times and went, you know what? No, I'm not going to do this.
Go see the Jackie Robinson story instead.
That's right.
Or 42. That's actually 2 different movies.
They are 2 different movies. I think there's another film. I think it's called Thal or Thale. You have to forgive my pronunciation. It comes with a Blu-ray DVD. We talked about this in passing a long time ago, but it's finally being released. It's about 2 crime scene cleaners who discover a mythical tailed female Huldra. It's a Nordic folklore. It's a seductive forest siren that happens to have a cow's tail for some reason. They keep it in a concealed cellar. I'd always thought so. During a particular gruesome job. She never utters a word.
Utters a word?
She doesn't. She's unable to tell her story, but the pieces of the puzzle soon come together. She's being held captive for decades for reasons soon to surface, and something is coming to claim her. I've heard, actually, that it's a pretty good kind of horror thriller type film. It is a foreign film, so keep that in mind.
Subtitles?
Yeah. Exactly. So I'll pop that in my queue. Hopefully I'll check it out. A film I actually went to go see. I'm very excited. I was kind of back and forth, but I was getting my car worked on and I needed something to do.
Yeah.
So I went to see Jurassic Park 3D IMAX.
Oh, yeah. How was it?
It was cool to see it that way again.
Yeah.
It was really kind of fun because it was louder. The 3D was pretty effective, I think. It was cool to see it in the theater again. It's been so long since I've watched this film.
It's a good movie.
So the 3D version of it is being released on Blu-ray. Includes a 3D Blu-ray, DVD digital copy, and ultraviolet. There are no 3D extras or bonus content detailing the film's conversion for some reason. I don't know why. But it has a whole bunch of featurettes as well, but I think most of them are already available on the previous Jurassic Park Blu-ray release.
They keep releasing the 3D Blu-rays, but I still don't know anybody who's got a 3D TV that they... Well, that's not true. I have a 3D TV, but it's like this little tiny thing.
What are you talking about then?
But I don't use it for that.
All right.
Like, it happened to be the best price for the size I needed. I just needed a little tiny TV.
Okay.
And it just happened to be
Why would
3D.
you get a tiny TV with 3D?
It's marketed as like the PlayStation TV. So I think it's made for like, kids' bedrooms or small areas. And I just needed a small TV for my office.
Well, I think when my TV goes, because I've had this TV now for
a while.
Yeah, about 6-7 years. It's a 55-inch, but it's a projection TV.
Yeah.
But the picture's still great.
Yeah.
So, but when it goes, I'll probably get I'm thinking 60, 65. With inches with 3D and probably go plasma, right? It's still kind of the way to go for movies.
They have a 78 inches at Walmart now. Walmart.
78?
Yeah.
Well, my ultimate goal is to make my own home theater in a cellar.
My ultimate goal is to have just every wall painted with TV. So I don't have to carry an iPad around.
Yeah.
My program just shows on whatever wall I'm looking at.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
It'll happen.
It will. Criterion is releasing Richard III, starring Laurence Olivier. It's coming out on Blu-ray from them. It includes a new high-definition digital master of the film's Foundation's 2012 restoration, uncompressed monaural soundtrack as well on the Blu-ray, audio commentary by playwright and stage director Russell Lees and John Wilder, who is a former governor of the Royal Shakespeare Company. A bunch of other featurettes as well. So if you're a fan of Richard III, it's getting released on Blu-ray from Criterion, so you know.
I like Richard II a lot better.
Do a good job, yes. Yeah, third films are usually the worst in the series.
Yeah.
The Great Gatsby, the original 74 version starring Robert Redford, Mia Farrow, and of course my boy Sam Waterston is being released on Blu-ray, so you can check that out just in time for the re-release. I think I did years ago.
I saw it
I can't remember.
In English class, and so it held my attention for long enough for me to fall asleep.
So not that long.
No.
Fair enough. So, yeah. Are you excited about the Great Gatsby re-release? I got to tell you, the more trailers I see about that, the more interested I'm becoming.
I hate Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah.
I cannot stand any of his movies. This trailer does get me kind of excited, but he's good at trailers.
Mm-hmm.
He really is. He can make almost anything look good in a trailer. But sitting through his stuff for 2 hours, it just gets old so quick.
I'm excited to check it out. Hopefully you'll enjoy it too when we see it, because we are doing it for the show.
Great.
Straight to DVD pick of the week time. Dave, I got a winner this week. I think I'm actually going to have to watch this one.
All right.
It's called, this might be kind of offensive, so I'm just preparing everybody now. It's called Jesus, the Daughter of God, A Quantum Leap of Faith.
What?
Listen. A go-go dancer quantum leaps into the body of Jesus. She doesn't believe that the experience is real, so she has fun perverting biblical stories.
Awesome.
Viewers see the go-go dancer, but characters in the movie see Jesus, which makes for intensely hilarious moments. You'll never laugh as hard or become as hard while watching Jesus.
What? I want to see this movie. I intensely want to see this.
It's got to be an absolute nightmare.
It's on DVD?
It will be, yes, as of next
God.
Tuesday. So there you are. So Dave, do you have a streaming pick of the week for
I
us?
do. So this one's a little weird because it's actually coming from the Funny or Die website. They released their I, Steve movie. It's kind of like a parody comedy about the life of Steve Jobs. It stars Justin something.
Justin Long?
Justin Long, thank you. And
I'm good.
The guy who played Hurley in Lost.
All right.
As Steve
That the big guy?
Wozniak. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's kind of funny. You know, I watched it, and it's not awesome, but it's on Funny or Die. It's on a website,
awesome.
you know, and it's free to watch.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of really good gags in it. Like Steve Wozniak, just like throughout the whole movie, there's this running gag where he's not getting any respect or any credit for anything. And there's actually this one moment where they meet Bill Gates,
Mm-hmm.
and Steve Jobs holds out his hand, shakes Bill Gates' hand. Steve Wozniak holds out his hand, and for the next 5 minutes leaves it out there, just waiting to shake. It's pretty funny. You know, it's got some stuff like that. It's not awesome, but it's not too bad. And you know, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, it's good.
Yeah,
and it's free, totally free. Like no $8 a month, no nothing.
Okay,
just go to funnyordie.com and
is
check
it
it out.
like a 10-minute clip or
no? It's an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, really? It's
Yeah.
actually fair enough. All right,
it's a nearly full-length movie.
Nearly. So that's what's coming up on Blu-ray and DVD this upcoming Tuesday, April 23rd. We're going to take another break, and then we're going to come back with our annual inventory. This is where we actually go through. We go through every year, and we're up to 2001 now, and we tell you what the top 5 films of that year are.
What are we going to do when we run out of so the internet was
the show will be over by the time we get to the beginning of cinema.
No, I'm
we'll
talking
be like
about
dead.
the time before internet. That's not that far away from where we are. Like what?
So
well,
I'm not following what your problem
is. Where are these lists going to come from?
They're still all on Wikipedia.
That means I got to go through like all the movies.
That's what I do.
I look at like top 100 movies of 2001 and then pick the top 5 out of that.
I think you're just being lazy. That's fine.
That's valid.
First up, a little more Daphne Lee Martin, or as I have it on my little clip here, DLM, Whiskey and Sin.
Your glasses slip down your nose, and my knees are gonna give. Run your fingers through your hair, and I have to bite my lip to keep my heart from boiling over, spilling on my shoes, and telling all my awful truths. But there is something tender in the way you kick off your boots, move your hands behind your head, sigh, take all of me in, breathing whiskey and sin at the end of yet another long day. And I don't know how you do it, oh, how you do it, no, I don't know how you do it to me, how you do it, boy, you say there's nothing to it, how you do it to me.
Mr. Potter, our new celebrity. Tell me, what would I get if I added powdered root of asphodel to an infusion of wormwood? You don't know? Well, let's try again. Where, Mr. Potter, would you look if I asked you to find me a bezoar?
I don't know, sir. And what is the difference between monkshood and wolfbane?
I don't know, sir.
Pity. Clearly, fame isn't everything, is it, Mr. Potter?
That's right, Dave. It's the top 5 films of 2001. And I gotta admit, anybody who's listened to this show with any regularity already knows what Dave's number 1 film is.
Yeah.
So,
Harry Potter. Was it the first Harry
That
Potter?
was Sorcerer's Stone, the very first Harry Potter film. That was it. So, Dave, why don't you start us off? Tell me, what was the 5th best film of 2001?
All right. This was actually, I thought, a really strong year.
It was.
A lot of competition for my top 5.
I have a ton of honorable mentions. In my top 4 and 5, I could probably easily inserted another 3 other movies.
Yeah, I could say that. My top 3 are actually pretty solid, but the 4 and 5 spot could go in a lot of different directions. But for number 5, I went with Ocean's 11.
Okay.
I thought this movie was really fun. It just dripped style and class, and it was fun to watch then. It remains fun to watch now. It's one of those movies that you just don't get enough of, I think, because it's tense, it's fun, it just oozes style. I love it. I love that movie.
That's a good pick. It might come back up as we go. For me, my number 5 was Sexy Beast, starring Ben Kingsley and Ray Winstone. A fantastic film.
Yeah.
About Ray Winstone basically plays a retired kind of gangster guy, and Ben Kingsley comes in. He's a kind of an enforcer, one of the scariest characters you'll ever see, which is an interesting dichotomy for him because he won the Academy Award for playing Gandhi, and now you see him in this role where he is absolutely terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And so Kingsley goes down,
sure.
tracks him down, asks to get him involved in this big heist robbery they have planned. Everybody's terrified of him, and then things go horribly awry. But it is exceptionally stylish and very entertaining. It's a fantastic film. If you haven't seen Sexy Beast, I can't recommend it enough. You should definitely check it out. But that's my number 5.
My number 4 is Black Hawk Down.
Black Hat
Down. There's a Black Hat Down. I thought this movie was tense. It showed modern warfare in a way that I hadn't seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
The sound alone, I thought, was one of the best I'd ever seen. This was, if you remember, this is kind of in the early days of surround sound in people's houses.
Yep.
And I first saw it in my house with a fairly new surround sound system. This and Heat both blew me away.
Mm-hmm.
But Black Hawk Down, I found it to be super, super interesting on a intellectual level. Just watching how kind of modern warfare works now.
Yeah,
it was very exciting to me. I really dug the characters, but really, it was the sound. The sound was just incredible to me.
Fair enough. That's a great film. It didn't actually make my top 5. My number 4 then is Amélie by Jean-Pierre Jeunet.
That's a boring movie.
What? Audrey Tautou is the first time I was introduced to her. This is a gorgeous film.
It is gorgeous.
Filled with color, and it's almost hypnotic when you watch this movie. It's such a great... I want to get all girly and say it's a beautiful story. It's sweet and romantic. I absolutely was blown away when I saw this film. Because I kept hearing how great it was, and I'm thinking, it's probably just some French romantic comedy thing, and it's not. It's almost a fairy tale. And I was riveted watching this film. I guess it put you to sleep, but I absolutely adore Amélie.
It was beautiful to watch. It was probably the best screensaver of 2001.
Well, you were allowed to be wrong about that.
That's true. I am allowed. So what is my number 3? My number 3 is Memento.
Okay.
Memento, I think, has lost some of its shine since it came out.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think it's just...
When was the last time you watched it?
It's been a while. So
you
maybe
may
if I checked it out again, it'd regain that shine.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just a cool way to present a story.
Yes.
And it was a cool story to present. That's all I really have to say about it. But it was a good movie.
All right. That's fair. My number 3 then was your, I believe, 5, Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
I was a big George Clooney fan going into this film because I loved Out of Sight. And it's Soderbergh as well. I'm a big Soderbergh fan. And what Soderbergh's able to kind of construct with this film, juggling all of these huge stars and having a compelling roller coaster adventure robbery ride that this film is.
Yeah.
It is
nothing like a good heist movie.
Disturbingly entertaining as a film. It really is. It's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I think sometimes it gets diminished by the fact that Ocean's 12 is just an absolute mess.
Yeah.
And Ocean's 13, though better than Ocean's 12, still is not a great film.
Ocean's 11 is a standalone movie, though. It's
I almost
amazing.
wish those other two films were never made.
Yeah.
But I was so in love with Ocean's 11 when it first came out. I thought it was like one of the coolest things that ever. It was really because I'm a Rat Packer guy. I love that. I'm a Sinatra guy. I love all that old stuff. And for me, it was kind of like.
Did you go back and watch the original?
No.
It's terrible.
But I love that whole kind of sense of style and fashion, and also too, I felt like this Ocean's 11 really kind of recaptured that whole feel, and I fell in love with that movie. I remember trying to track down an autographed poster of when they all signed it. But it was, I didn't have the money for something like that back then. But I just would watch this movie over and over again. But yeah, that's my third favorite film of that year.
All right. My number 2 is the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring. I thought this movie was spectacular.
Yeah.
And I still do, actually. I did not enjoy the later movies in the series nearly as much, but I thought Fellowship of the Ring, it was something I had never seen on screen before. It was just fantastic. It was gorgeous. It was just, the special effects were mind-blowing. How well they hit them, basically. I mean, you're seeing these magnificent things on the screen,
right? And
they felt real. They felt like true to life. It was amazing. I can't believe how well they did it. The characters were deep. They followed the book to an extent that I'd never seen in a movie before.
Yeah.
That's so rare.
Especially with the expanded editions.
Yeah, that's true. But Fellowship of the Ring, to me, it's the best of those movies, in my opinion. And it was spectacular.
I think I would agree with you, except that it didn't make my top 5.
Yeah.
The 5 films in my list are actually, I actually enjoy these movies more. Obviously, they wouldn't have been in my top 5, but I don't know. I have a more rewatch value with these films, and that brings me to my number 2. Since you pooped all over 2 of my picks by stealing them early, my number 2 then is Royal Tannenbaums.
Wow,
but
that's messed up.
You
picked the best movie ever made as your number 2 of a certain year.
Yes, it is Wes Anderson's best film, but I'm going to pass the baton because let's talk about your number 1.
It's obviously Royal Tenenbaums. It's my favorite movie of all time. It's just, there's not a moment of this movie that I don't find highly entertaining. If it's not like really sad, it's hilarious, or it's both at the same time. There hasn't been a movie with so many one-liners since Caddyshack. I mean, it's just a constant barrage of great stuff. It's really well acted by just a ton of really good actors.
Hackman
and some
is brilliant.
Bad
in this
actors
movie,
are really good in this, like Ben Stiller. It's like the only movie I can watch with him in it. I mean, it's amazing. It's so chock full of goodness.
Yeah, Hackman's brilliant, and I love Anderson's use of topography in this film. I love the music, everything. It's his perfect. It's a perfect film, and I definitely would agree with you. But it's not as good, Dave, as Memento.
No, sorry,
it's not. I've actually watched Memento again just like 6 months ago or so because I was on this weird Nolan kick where I watched a bunch of his movies over like a week or two span. And Memento to this day still works. It still works. It's a brilliant film. If you're not familiar, you have Guy Pearce.
So it still works after you know, like, the kind of
because you're still trying to figure it out. You're trying to piece it. You're still piecing everything together.
That's what everybody said about Usual Suspects, and that worked the second time. But after that, it was kind
of because there's still some ambiguity with Memento. There's still certain things you're never really quite sure about.
Okay.
And if you're not familiar, Guy Pearce, he wakes up in a hotel room. Problem is he has no short-term memory. He can't make new memories. So he starts tattooing things on himself to remember, because what he's trying to do is remember, he's trying to track down the person who killed his wife. So he has all these clues he finds. He tattoos them on his body so he won't lose the clues.
He still has his long-term memory.
Right,
he just can't
exactly.
make any new memories.
Exactly. And then he meets people who may or may not be taking advantage of him. Maybe they're helping him. Maybe they're not.
Yeah.
And
the movie is told in reverse.
And it happens backwards. But not entirely. There's some of it's moving forward. The black and white scenes are running forward.
Oh, the ones on the phone?
The color scenes are going backwards.
Okay.
And what Nolan's able to do by balancing all of that and make this work. When you mess with time in a film, it can be an issue. Like if you don't do it right, it's an absolute nightmare.
That's true. It is. It's
but the temporal run through this film he's able to pull off is absolutely brilliant. And there's actually, if you want to, too, if you get the special edition DVD, or I believe the Blu-ray has this feature as well, there's a code you can punch in that lets you actually run the movie from start to finish.
Oh, really?
Rearranges everything and puts things in the right order.
I guess that'd be interesting, right?
It'd be interesting. I haven't done it yet because I have this weird thing where I feel it's going to ruin it for me, so I haven't done it. But it's still great. Guy Pearce, Carrie-Anne Moss, Joey Pants is in it. It's if you haven't seen Memento, you're really cheating yourself. I think you have to check it out.
Yeah, it's good. It's not as good as Royal Tenenbaums, but it's good.
So, Dave, do you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I do. Monsters, Inc. came out in 2001. I thought that was
on my list.
Best Pixar movie at that moment. Donnie Darko.
Oh, you meant like up to that point.
Up to that point.
I thought you meant there was a best Pixar movie that was out at that time.
Yeah, no, up to that point.
Way to take a stand.
Donnie Darko, I really enjoyed.
Okay.
That movie kind of doesn't hold up anymore.
No.
I think just because it's a low budget movie. I don't know why it doesn't hold up anymore. It's just one of those things. What else did I have? That's it.
All right. Well, I had Shrek. You didn't have the first Shrek?
Oh, Shrek. I didn't. No, I didn't.
The score,
the
Frank Oz film with Edward Norton and Brando, which I enjoyed. Mulholland Drive,
like
David Lynch. This was almost my number 5. I really liked Mulholland Drive, but it just didn't have that rewatch value for me that 60 Beast does. One of my favorites, David Mamet, his film Heist with Gene Hackman.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie.
I love that film. Fellowship of the Ring, Black Hawk Down, Bully by Larry Clark about the people in Florida. It's based on a true story who get together and kill this guy that's kind of tormented them for years. Guillermo del Toro's first film, Devil's Backbone.
I haven't seen this.
It is a gorgeous movie.
Is it as good as Pan's Labyrinth?
No. But it's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's getting released on Blu-ray by Criterion the next month or so at the most.
Really?
So it's definitely worth checking out. A great little horror film, Joyride, it's a lot of fun. If you haven't seen it, as far as those kind of schlocky B-level horror movies with Lily Sobieski and I can't remember, and Steve Zahn and somebody else is in it I can't remember, but that's a lot of fun. Nicole Kidman and The Others.
I like that movie.
That was released in 2000, another great film. Scotland, PA, which is great, which is it's kind of like a modern retelling of Macbeth in a diner in Pennsylvania.
Really?
It's really kind of cool. And then, of course, this one, too, I really wanted to put on my list, but it was just edged out, was Miyazaki's Spirited Away.
I hated that movie.
Which is a brilliant film. Really?
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't understand you at all. If you haven't seen Spirited Away, it is just, it's and if you have any kids, it's definitely worth checking out. So,
Your
Dave,
kids love it. I can't stand it.
As we always do with our annual reviews, we're going to run down the top 10 films in the box office of that year.
A lot of them were on my list.
Number 10. Remember
Yeah.
this one? Hannibal, the Silence of the Lambs sequel.
Okay.
How did you enjoy Hannibal? I was not impressed.
No. So, have you checked out the
I've
new
watched
series?
2 episodes of it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
I love Mads Mikkelsen, who plays Hannibal.
Yeah.
He was the bad guy in Casino Royale. I think he's great. I think the show it's a gorgeous show, the way it's shot.
Yeah.
I
want his office.
I know, but I'm on the fence. I don't know if it's going to be all style over substance. I'm not sure yet.
I don't know,
but I like
I'm
it.
digging it. I'm digging out how he's already seems to be feeding people like dead bodies. Like that's I'm digging it so far. It's caught my interest and I'm liking it.
I agree.
Not quite as much as The Following right now, but
I hate that show.
You don't like that
I
show?
watched 3 episodes and I stopped.
Really?
I just don't care. It's not. All it is violence for violence's sake, which I like. Don't get me wrong.
I don't
but
understand the problem here.
there's no. I just don't. No emotional investment. I don't care.
Right.
In a weird way, it's an ultra-violent chase show that is boring. It's a dull show.
I don't find
And
it dull at all.
Kevin
I'm having a lot of
Bacon,
fun
too.
with it.
Number 9, Dave. Tim Burton's disastrous Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that was bad. That was the one with Mark Wahlberg? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that was bad.
After that, another sequel that is not terribly good. Joe Johnston directed this film, Jurassic Park 3.
Was that the one where the Muppets take Manhattan?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Number 7, another sequel, The Mummy Returns.
I hated all the Mummy movies.
I enjoyed the first one. I thought the second one was okay. A film.
Scorpion King, they were all bad.
Number 6, a film I never actually saw, Pearl Harbor, the Michael Bay film.
Yeah, that was a bad movie.
Number
was
5.
real bad.
Number 5 is Ocean's 11.
Yeah, okay. Finally, we're gonna get to some good stuff.
4 is Shrek.
That's good.
3, Monsters Inc.
Yes.
This one's gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
2, Lord of the Rings: Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah.
So then, what was number 1 of the year?
Scary Movie 1.
No. There's a clip to this segment.
I didn't catch it.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone was the
yeah.
number 1 film of 2001, which is understandable.
I didn't really dig on any of the Harry Potter movies. I thought they were fairly well done.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't speak to me on the way. And I read the books, too. I thought the books were charming.
I've never read them.
And fun, but the movies never really caught me.
I think the third film is the best in the series. Of course, it's the one directed by Alfonso Cuarón, who did Children of Men.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, and I thought they got progressively better, though I think still the best one is the third film.
The last one was terrible.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, it was okay. I'm not a huge fan about the Order of the Phoenix series parts as well. I'm not. It's not Order of the Phoenix. It's what do you call it? The last one.
Whatever.
You read the books. I didn't even read the damn books. Yeah. So we'd love to hear, what are your favorite films of 2001? Shoot us an email.
Royal Tenenbaums didn't make the top 10 box office hits.
No, of course
Come
it didn't.
on.
Are you crazy? It
I got dragged to the theater by my father to see that.
Did you really?
Yeah, I
you didn't
even
even want to go?
No, it looked terrible. I'm like, I don't want to see that.
So let me ask.
Awful.
And were you blown away by it then?
Blown
Walked out at the door?
of my socks.
Fair enough.
I bought that DVD purchase day one.
That's a big thing for you.
Yeah.
Well, it is your favorite.
And then I rebought it on the Criterion Collection.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good way to support. Way to get yourself out there. We'll take another break, and I want to come back and tell you what's coming up next week. But first up, let's hear a little bit more from Daphne Lee Martin with a little bit.
Just gotta, a little bit. I wanna, a little bit with you. All that you say is picture perfect. All I can pray is that you're worth it. I wanna, a little bit with you. When it's cold outside, when I'm with you, time goes flying by. I wanna, a little bit with you.
I've been watching you, Jack. You're curious. What are you looking for in those books? Do they bring back old memories?
You won't get anything from me. My memory's been wiped to protect
security of the mission. Yes. You can't have your precious memory falling into the wrong hands now, can you? You just repair drones. Don't go into the radiation zone. Don't ask too many questions. Not part of the job description.
So, Dave, you just heard a little clip from Oblivion, the latest Tom Cruise film, which blew up internationally last weekend.
Did it really?
It was massive.
I've heard too many clips from this movie. I feel like I know the end, and it really disappoints me.
That's a problem, too, right? We should try and kind of install a ban on watching trailers. But what we're checking out next week is Oblivion. I'm also excited to announce we're going to have two video shows coming up as well, because I saw Trance, the latest film by Danny Boyle, which I really wish you could see, but we're not going to be able. I don't think how we're going to fit it in. Which stars James McAvoy and the lovely Rosario Dawson. And then this weekend
From Dawson's Creek?
Yes.
Okay.
And then this week comes out Rob Zombie's latest Lords of Salem, which I will not subject you to.
Yeah, thank you for that.
But I am
I've
a
seen
horror.
a couple of Rob Zombie's movies.
I've been kind of disappointed with those 2 Halloween films, so I'm hoping that this is going to be better.
There was one that I thought was pretty cool.
Devil's Rejects was pretty good.
I think it was that one. It was just,
that was his
It was
best
so
one.
batshit crazy that you couldn't turn your head. You know,
Yeah.
it was like, what is he going to come up with next?
So we'll be doing that as well. I'm excited about that. In the meantime, we'd love to hear from you as always. Shoot us an email at thefirstrun@gmail.com. Check out Daphne Lee Martin at daphneleighmartin.com.
That's a nice website to get.
Smart. That's some good marketing.
Yeah.
And look us up on the Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and Instagram. Just do a search for The First Run. We'll come right up. You can follow and like us. And that's it. That's the big show this week. We're going to take an extended break, and we will see you all in a week.
First Run, out.
Nice.